The anime of the year is always a hot debate. We all know how bad Crunchyroll Anime Awards
are. And the Anime Award goes to Demon Slayer.
But can we find the objectively true anime of the year, where everyone can hold hands together and agree with? We are gonna go through anime in every season, rank them on a list, and let's see if we can find the anime of the year. 2024 starts off pretty strong with the winter season. Anime like Solo Leveling matches everyone's hype about the manhwa and the series itself. If they make 24 episodes for Solo Leveling with this level of production, they would be easily in this conversation.
First time.
Winter season also full of great sequels like Mashle, Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy, Urusei Yatsura, and Classroom of the We don't talk about that. But from those anime that I have mentioned, I can only think that there are only two anime that really stand out from this season. Dangers in My Heart is by far, by any metric that you want, is the best romance this year or possibly in this generation. The first season is kinda mid, to be honest, but the second season is an incredible run from start to finish. It went from nobody talking about this anime to everyone giving out the anime of the year shouts. And I bet only half of them really watched from the first season and the rest are just looking for views. Dangers in My Heart is the only show that I could remember that top anime trending for the entire season. But I'm afraid that Dangers in My Heart will not be in everyone's anime of the year because the most obvious reason is that not that many people watch romance shows in general. It's always the shonen shows that will win the awards, but we are not here talking about the awards, we are better than that. And Dangers in My Heart also, in my opinion, is a great contender for anime of the year, and I put this on the number 4 on my list. Maybe it's a little bit too high for the first entry on this list, but hey, we are starting off strong here. Dungeon Meshi is the other anime that goes on the list, even though I think Dungeon Meshi peaked in the second half of the show, which should be in spring season, but I count this on the first episode they released, which is in winter season. And holy fuck! Dungeon Meshi does prove the theory that the dirtiest place always has the best goddamn food.
Hold on! You can't put those in!
Why not?
There's no way I'm eating that! You see those? Those are corpses!
Bitch, shut your ass up! If you don't want it, let me have that.
It's a good fucking food.
Bias aside, because I love good looking food, Dungeon Meshi is a perfect recipe to a good anime. You got elves, dwarves, dungeons, you got a set of diverse characters, and they are all really likable. And they got food, a lot of food. Just tell me one single person on earth that didn't like food. Go on, I'll wait. And even if you take out all of the food, you still left with an amazing adventure fantasy anime. The food is just what completes the show. And for all of those reasons, Dungeon Meshi deserves to be the lucky number 7 on the list. And moving on to spring season, this season also has a lot of great anime. We are truly blessed this season, aren't we? A lot of great shonen anime this season. Kaiju number 8 slaps. Mushoku Tensei and Konosuba are still great as ever. Windbreaker is also pretty good, even though sometimes it's pretty cringe. And Demon Slayer? Also, we don't talk about this one. But if you are talking about the highlight of this season, that this is the season of music anime. I know all of the 3D haters are crying on this one, but holy! We got Bocchi and Girls Band Cry in just 2 years? Bro, I'm praying every day for this year to come. Just like Bocchi, Girls Band Cry is just a full album of absolute banger of a song. And I already know the 3D haters are gonna hate in the comment, but even if you are a hater, you have to admit that at least the 3D is not that bad. Yes, there are some scenes where the 3D is visibly worse, but the use of 3D allows for more freedom. If you compare it with other music anime like Bocchi, Girls Band Cry has visibly more movement because of 3D. And it kinda goes hard though. But at least we can all agree for the best part though.
決まってるじゃないですか。告白です。
Yes! 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 But if we wanna talk a little bit deep for a moment, anime like Girls Band Cry taught you a very valuable lesson. More often than not, people see their weaknesses as a big wall in front of their faces. They just back out immediately without giving it a chance. And this also happened to me when I first started uploading on YouTube. I always thought that because I don't have any money to buy a decent laptop or because English is not my first language, I keep finding myself feeling dissatisfied with my own video. But eventually I try my best to upload my first video and this is what happens.
In just a few days, summer 2022 anime will begin to air.
I can't do this. This is so fucking cringe. But what I'm saying is that these girls also facing the same thing we do in real life. They have their own insecurities, the drama, the fears, the doubts they have, but they are willing to overcome their weaknesses because the dream and the moments they spend together are far more important. But I'm here talking like I'm a successful man myself. No, I'm not. I'm here only yapping about anime and And let's slap this one on the number 9 on the list. Sound Euphonium is already heavily underrated even from the first season way back in 2015. And this season might be their best season yet, including the final season of this series. There is kind of an outrage in the beginning that the director wants to change the final audition from the source material, but it turns out that bold change is what cemented this as one of the greatest series in my book. I don't want to spoil what happened because if you are following Sound Euphonium from the beginning, it is a pretty huge twist, but maybe for any director that wants to adapt Otonoke in the future needs to take a note of this one. Maybe you need to change the ending a little bit, or maybe not a little bit, maybe just change everything. I don't think I need to explain that much. One look at any scene from Sound Euphonium, you already know you are about to witness a cinema. It's kind of a coincidence that two of my favorite anime this season are about music. But to put this on the list, I think it's fitting to slide Sound Euphonium on the number 8. It's a great ending to an amazing series, and I don't think I'll find the same feeling after this one. To be honest, when I look back to summer season, I just realized that this season is it's pretty ass, to be honest. Other than Otonoke and Losing Heroine, there is no other anime that is worthy being the best anime. Everything else is just decent. Even anime like Pseudo Harem that I already make a video of because I read and like the manga is not good enough. But I'm not saying anime like Wistoria, Elusive Samurai, Alia, Shikanoko are bad. They are just one point away being in this conversation. I like them, I enjoy watching them, but the best anime? Maybe that is a little bit too fast.
Okay.
Losing Heroine is the one that really blew me away when I first watched it. I wanna dap everyone in the team. I wanna shake their hands, I wanna thank them, I wanna clap their cheeks, I wanna pull their pants down and sucking their dick. Tell me when was the last time we had a flawless animation in an anime about getting friendzoned? I need you to look at this, and this, and even this. What is going on inside their mind when making this? And why am I rock solid? I believe everyone involved in this is too overqualified. They are like giga chats who just quit from MAPPA and went looking for a healthy work environment. Even you can see just from the opening. Probably my favorite anime opening in this entire year just based on animation. And for the anime itself, it's a clever concept to make an anime about the losing side of a romance story, just like every heroine that I stand on. But other than that, there is nothing that really stands out. But if you take anything with this amount of effort and production, you are bound to make a great anime. And that's why I'm locking this on the number 3 on the list, just slightly above Dangers in My Heart. Yeah, I need a girlfriend for real. I already said in my video about a year ago that this arc is the peak of Otonoke. And if they just maintain the same production just like the first season, the second season will be an easy home run. And they not only maintain the same quality, you can argue that it's actually better. At some scenes, they went absolute crazy. For a studio that is known for making cute, happy anime girls, they did a better job than a certain anime. I'm not gonna let the manga bias affect my judgment because I know everything after this is just went downhill. But Otonoke do deserves the shout of anime of the year for a really good reason. Despite whether you didn't like the fact that this season has a lot more yapping, or you are mad because Akane didn't get a lot of screen time. Yeah, I'm talking about myself. But you can't deny the fact that this season is really entertaining. I think we can all agree on that one. The second season of Otonoke will be on the number 6 on my list, meaning that the rest of the list will be from the fall season, which easily has been the best season in whole entire year. Like, where do I begin? ReZero, Dandadan, Bleach, Blue Box are all anime of the year contenders in one single season. I didn't yet mention other anime like Sharingan, Orb Movements of the Earth, Ranma Half, Natsume Book of Friends, Dragon Ball Daima, Blue Exorcist, and even random shit like Motherfucking Ghost. Every single anime in this season has been incredible. But I can't cover each and every one of those anime in this video, and only 3 of them are worthy being on the list. A really quick note before we moving on, I actually haven't watched a single episode of Bleach. No, I'm not talking only about this fall season, but from literally all the way back from the beginning. So in case you are wondering why I'm not including Bleach on the list, it's because I don't want to give any opinion to something that I haven't watched. So yeah, you can put your pitchforks down and enjoy the rest of the video. Yippee! The first anime of the year contender in this season is, I guess what everyone saw it coming, it is Dandadan. And as much as I love the original art style from the manga, I have to say that the anime is a little bit better. The anime did an incredible job at almost every single moment that is happening. So that's why there is no manga versus anime debate in Dandadan, because both of them are awesome. I honestly can't say much about the anime itself because it is still airing as of I'm speaking right now. All I know is that you are watching a goated anime when you get people calling it overrated even from the first episode. And speaking of the first episode, put aside what you see in that scene, put aside your preferences, this is a must-watch for anyone that loves anime. To put this on the list, even though it is still halfway through the season, I'm pretty comfortable to say that they will maintain a good run until the end of the season. So for me, Dandadan will be the runner-up for anime of the year. Hopefully this aged really well. It took quite a long time for us to get the third season of Re:Zero. For almost 4 years in fact, and a lot of delays from the production, but finally the third season of Re:Zero is officially released. With no more part 2s, with no more delays, and we got a full 16 episodes. What the f? I mean, waiting for 4 years for 16 episodes is a little bit suffering, but knowing what they have been cooking with these 4 years, I think it's absolutely worth it. Especially for you, Emilia fans. I know all of this rating comes from you, and since it's been 4 years apart, I have to re-watch from the first season to get the timeline straight. And you would be surprised on how much Re:Zero has changed. My biggest critics about Re:Zero is about the purpose of this whole thing. In the beginning, I didn't get why Subaru has to face all of this pain and suffering. It's like they made it just to appeal a certain people. And yeah, I'm talking about you. But now it's all starting to make sense. The moment when Subaru knows how to make the most of his death abilities, it feels like we are going to this one giant build-up to something big that is waiting for us. And I think we get a little bit of that glimpse in this season. And I'm actually starting to like Subaru. He came a long way from just a guy who walked out of a convenience store, and now he is about to crash a wedding party. I don't know, next season he could be boxing with Jake Paul and running for election. For a guy like him, the sky is only the limit. But for now, I put Re:Zero on the number 6 on the list. Now you're about to see my most biased review. And I knowingly put this at the very end because there are only 2 spots left on the list, and you can guess in the next 1.5 minutes where this could end up. I love romance anime, I love any sports in general, and when those two are combined and written as close to perfection as possible, then you have Blue Box. I thought Losing Heroine is the only one who was going hard on the animation, but Blue Box is getting their own royal treatment from Netflix. And you might be thinking that this is only your standard romance with pretty animations. Well, you're not wrong actually, but Blue Box has something that I have been looking for. If I have a personal wish list about my perfect romance anime, I want a romance anime that has both love and purpose. What I mean is that most romance anime we are watching right now is entirely revolved around how they will become a couple and what happened in between. But rarely do we find a romance anime about growing together as a couple. We all know Chinatsu and Taiki are meant for each other, no one arguing for that. Now what I want to see is how they were trying to improve themselves. I want to see Chinatsu to win the championship. I want to see Taiki smash the f*** out of everyone. It's a nice change of perspective from just regular romance anime, and seeing someone showing their passion in their fields and we still have those moments. That's why I really love Blue Box, and I highly suggest you are not missing out on this one. But as much as I love Blue Box, I still have to reserve the first spot for one really special anime. But we already went through all 4 seasons. If you pay really close attention, you know that I didn't mention one specific category, and it is movies. I didn't mention them because most of movies this year are not really that good. All of the movies that were hype are pretty disappointing. Well, aside from Haikyuu, The Colors Within, maybe, and this. So I'm not really want to talk about anime movies until at almost very end of 2024, I watch Look Back. It is genuinely the best anime movie for the past 20 something years I've been living on this planet, above every single anime movie I have ever watched. Look Back is my definition of a perfect anime movie. Even though it is only an hour-long movie, but once you get into it, those will be the best 1 hour of your life. I talked about Look Back before it was released in Japan and how much I love the manga, and I already set my expectations pretty high for a fairly new studio. But they somehow made it 100 times better than the manga. Let me demonstrate by what I mean. I need you to look at this picture, a girl running in the middle of a rain. A pretty simple page, but how do you animate this? Well, this is how they done it. It's everything about the imagination that fits so perfectly. The soundtrack behind it, the subtle details in the background that change as you walk. This is what you get if you watch the entirety of Look Back. Even from the first literal second of the movie is already a cinema. For a little bonus, I'm gonna give you a little fun trivia fact that I discovered after watching it for the second time. Pay a really close attention to the background before and after Fujino meeting Kyomoto. You notice that the background went from a really hard sketch because Fujino can't draw the background, and after Fujino become friends with Kyomoto, you can see everything lit up, more vibrant and detailed. And sadly, after Kyomoto passed away, there are no background. Every scene is always inside a house or in a room. The only time when there is a background is when Kyomoto was in the scene because Fujimoto lost her background artist. How can you not be amazed by how wonderful this movie is? It's only one of the many things that this movie has, and I better leave that to you to discover it yourself. It is the best movie I've ever watched, and I'm very happy to set this as the #1 on the list. Look Back is the best anime in 2024. So that's conclude my full recap of 2024. Let me know what is your best anime this year by typing it in the comment section down below. I'd love to see what your thought about it. And if you like these kinds of videos, maybe consider subscribing and click the next video right on your screen.